What is going on, everybody? Today is a big day for Nick Sands Presents. A big day with a big boy. I got my man out here, Zach. That is not a Game of Thrones character you're seeing. That is the next hot PowerSlap athlete coming out of New Hampshire. And I am trying a new format today. We're coming on a little walk ski. You know, many people have mentioned how unhealthy and fat I am, which I appreciate because it's driven me to come out here and try something new. So, Zach, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Nick. It was a beautiful Tuesday afternoon.
It is. What a wild life we lead, though. We get to walk around a lake at 2 o'clock in the, at fucking Tuesday morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. You're now you're about to be an official PowerSlap athlete.
Yeah. So I just came back from a Las Vegas training camp that they sent me to. You know, it couldn't have gone better. You know, I really went in there, showed out, you know, kind of showed how super heavyweight can perform in an athletic sense. I feel like a lot of the super heavyweights don't know how to move, don't understand their bodies, and don't understand how to be explosive. So, yeah, so right now, doing a bunch of interviews with PowerSlap. So I'm just waiting on a contract to be drawn up, hoping to be on the PowerSlap 13 card in Saudi.
In Saudi
Arabia.
Holy shit! So you're gonna go straight from straight into the hot fires of the PowerSlap world.
I mean, that's all I want. That's all I want's the hot fires.
So this is gonna be so your hope is that your first time out, you're gonna be in
Saudi Arabia
with other professional slap athletes from around the world.
Yeah, I mean that's all I want. You know, at least I've been begging them just to give me a chance.
Sorry. So I've known you for a long time. I've known you since you were just, little is not the right word, but I've known you since you were a young man. And you've always been a freak of an athlete. Are your parents like genetic freaks? Like what happened?
I wish I could fucking tell you, dude. My dad's like the most average looking white guy you've ever seen. He's like 5'10", like 180, you know. I have 200 pounds on my dad right now. My mom's just an average lady. And then like, I've been working out hard as fuck since I was like a little kid though. Like I've never really stopped. Like I just casually work out 6 days a week for no reason.
I do not.
Yeah, I mean, you know, now I kind of have a reason. So I've been doing like doubles on 4 of the days. So now, you know, shit, I can actually do what I love and not feel like a weirdo.
So what do you think is so you just came out of the womb. I mean, you've always been massive.
Mm-hmm.
Were you like a big baby?
Oh, I was 2 months premature, 9 pounds, 8 ounces.
Crazy. So 2 months premature, 9 pounds, 8 ounces. For reference, my son was, he was 8 weeks premature. And he was, so 2 months premature. He was 4 pounds, 5 ounces. 4 pounds, 11 ounces when he was born. Yeah. So you were a big, you were a big fella right out the gate.
My mom told me that the news came and took pictures of me. So like,
someone find me that article for the love of God.
Yeah. Like they got pictures of me on like the NICU table and I'm just like falling off.
Did you look like a 2-year-old?
Yeah. So it looked like a 2-year-old, you know. Came out 9 pounds.
Crazy, you had to come out premature just for your mother's survival.
Yeah, no, my mom wouldn't have lived through it. I would have came out 15 pounds with a full beard. Asking for a Bud Light.
You know what I just realized? I don't think I said your name. His name is Zak Lansing. Go check it out on Instagram. What's your handle? It's just Zak Lansing, right?
Oh, yeah. It's Lansing Zak. I tried to make it, and, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of a caveman. So,
no.
Fucked it up a little bit.
That's okay. We're all a little bit caveman-y. And this isn't your first athletic endeavor. You've been doing athletics your whole life.
Yeah. My first love was football, man. I loved football. Me and football, that was really kind of the start of like realizing how good of an athlete I am and kind of understanding that I am special in an athletic sense. So yeah, no, football was my first love. Also my first heartbreak, but
I feel that. That's me and boxing.
Yeah.
Where it's like you get into it, it takes over your whole life, and then you realize, I mean, for you it was a little bit different, but for me, I realized like, okay, well, I'm never gonna really be good. Like, I'm never gonna be like, I enjoy it, I love it.
Yeah.
I can be good, I'll never be great. And is it worth pursuing? And the answer was no. And that was a tough fucking life.
It's hard once like something's your identity, and then it's not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you tell everybody, oh, you know, I'm Nick the boxer or Zach the football player, and then one day you're just Nick or Zach.
Well, with sports, it's different too, because it's like, it's not just it becomes like all of your friends do it.
Yeah.
Like every friend I had before I left boxing went to the gym every day with me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, Mrs. Murphy, who was our boxing instructor, she was like my second mother, you know? And then it's like, you can't just do it. Like, I could never just do it casually. I could never just pick up like a cardio kickboxing class.
Oh, God, no.
Once or twice a week, you know what I mean? It was just not in the cards for me. It either needed to be my whole life or it couldn't be a part of it. Which is, it's like dying almost.
Well, it's like dying in a whole rebirth because you have to find a new identity.
Exactly.
You know, like, I think, like, you know, I still work out like I'm playing football all the time. Like, you know, that's something I never really stopped for some weird reason. You know, I just, like, that's my favorite thing to do.
Do you still think of yourself as like Zach the football player?
No.
Do you still miss football?
Oh yeah. Oh God, like, it's weird. Like, I don't miss the game itself, but I miss putting on a pair of pads and putting people in the dirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate like the bullshit of it. I hate the practices. I hate having to sit there. You know, I play D-line. There's not much to D-line.
Right.
You know, like, oh, you hit this gap, don't over penetrate, like. You know,
never been my problem. I always penetrate the exact right amount.
But like, yeah, like football is always so natural to me. Like, ever since I stepped on the field, I was the best player there. You know, it just a lot of instincts, and I definitely miss that part. I don't miss, I said, like, you know, sitting in the film room having a talk, oh, this and that. You know, I played nose guard. Sit there and maintain 2A gaps and don't get put on my ass. Like, it's not a lot of thought. It's just a lot of action. Exactly. It's not like I'm playing quarterback.
Right.
You know, like, at the end of the day, you know, they're like, you know, anything goes up the middle, kill it. Sack some quarterbacks. Like, you know, it's not rocket science.
Not rocket science. Now, you went on from football, and then you started kickboxing.
Well, so I've always been kickboxing. So I started kickboxing and boxing to get better hand movement in football.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say that in case I was mistaken.
Oh no. So I mean, well, just like, 'cause in playing D-line, like, you have to, you know, use your hands a lot.
We got to turn. We're coming to a dead end. We came to a little cul-de-sac in the woods.
We're good. But no, so you know, you play football, you have to have violent hands with that, and you know, boxing helped me a lot with that. My explosion, hand placement. So, like, yeah, no. So I started really like training at a gym, say at like 12.
And then, so you're football, boxing, kickboxing, lifting weights. If I remember correctly, you were being scouted at this time for college.
Yeah. So that it was hard because I was hiding a kidney disease that whole time from the scouts. Where, you know, let's say I'd miss a game or something.
But you were legitimately having conversations.
Oh, 100%, literally.
D1 colleges were already like.
Yeah, it was a lot. The recruiting process is an interesting process. it's a weird, like, I feel like a lot of these recruiters are they're weird. You know, they're promising kids things that, you know, they're not going to be able to deliver on. Looking back now, do you feel like you dodged a bullet? I mean, no. I mean, it depends on a lot of things. Like, my life's good now. You know, like, I'm happy. Like, I make good money. You know, I have a lovely girlfriend. You know, I have my own place. I'm happy with life. You know?
Seem extremely happy.
Yeah, like, there's nothing for me to really be mad about. You know, like, my life turned out good. Like, you know, what I've made in the NFL? Probably not.
Right.
You know,
that's the thing, is you're getting promised at 12 years old you're going to make it into
that's what I'm saying. Like,
the biggest game on earth, and you don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what they tell these kids, and then, like, once it stops, they're kind of like, what the fuck?
We got some water here.
Oh, yeah. This is getting treacherous.
This is getting treacherous. This is, so, for anyone who doesn't know, I don't know why, this is actually how I wanted to do my podcast originally, was walking through the woods. And I just started doing it at the public library in the winter with the plan of getting everything sort of situated. And like, I started off playing video games. I thought maybe that was one format. And then like, now that it's getting nice out, I feel like this is the way to do it. I think I just need to maybe pre-screen the areas because I've never been here before. Well, I mean, I haven't been here in probably 15 years. So you were just kind of touched on a second ago, you were hiding a kidney disease.
Yeah.
And what was that?
So I have IgA nephropathy. So basically, it's a kidney disease where I don't process my protein through my kidneys.
Okay.
So I kind of piss out all my protein.
Nice.
So you look at my piss, it's just straight bubbles, and it's just all protein.
It's just a clump. You piss whey protein.
Yeah.
You could take it, dry it out, and then sell it.
Listen, I could.
Dude, we could do that. That could be the Zak Lansing slap, fucking PowerSlap.
Listen, just selling my piss. I got protein piss and it's clean, guys.
Is there any evidence that like you being so big or contributed or vice versa?
So kind of what started, so it's like inflammatory.
Yeah.
So kind of what started it was I'd watch these like YouTube videos and like these strongmen would be like, oh, I have, 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight a day.
Classic.
So then at 12, I'm like, well, I'm going to do that. And I was 300 pounds.
Right.
I was having 600 grams of protein a day at 12. And, my legs start swelling up. I get these horrific full body cramps. And then, that's kind of started a couple of years of hell.
And what was that like? Like, what was the first kind of symptoms you started showing?
Tiredness. The amount of, you can't explain that kind of sleep. It's just unwavering. You can't fight it. It's kind of like borderline just narcolepsy. Like, you're just dead tired all the time. You fall asleep anywhere, everywhere. So that was kind of like the first warning. Then my legs started to swell up to where like you could grab my legs and just leave a giant handprint. Seriously. And then, then like, I think once I started pissing blood, my mom was like, oh, we got an issue.
Right. So like the tiredness, it kind of sounds like an inopportune time for that to happen because it's sort of like right around puberty when kids are getting those kind of symptoms anyway. Maybe not the Michelin Man puffiness, but the fucking, the other stuff sounds like, not the pissing blood either, but the tiredness sounds like something that is just like a normal thing that kids go through.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not to that extent. Like it was, I couldn't get enough sleep. Like I could sleep for 2 days.
Gotcha.
And like, you know what I mean? Like it was brutal.
So did your doctors take it seriously right as it started happening?
Yeah, so I got, we didn't know what it was for a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't take a smart doctor to recognize kidney failure. You know what I mean?
But it was never a question that you were actually sick. Like it didn't progress along and everybody was like, oh, you're just faking it.
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No, it was like all hands on deck, like right away that I need to like,
well, to be fair, at the time you looked like a 40-year-old, so they probably thought you had like diabetes or something.
I started gaining so much weight.
Yeah.
Like I went from 300 to like 335 in like 2 months.
Okay.
So they were kind of, it's from all like the water and stuff.
Yeah, water retention.
Yeah, so that, like my legs hurt from all the water.
Gotcha. And so then you get this diagnosis, and what is that? What happens next?
Infinite doctor visits.
Yeah.
Go up to Chad all the time. I don't know how many times me and my mom drove up to Lebanon. Go up to Chad, get treatment.
Is anybody like, you're gonna die?
I didn't get that, but I got definitely have heard a lot of bad news, like a lot of like, just like needing new kidneys, which I didn't somehow, which is like super, super rare.
You can have one of my kidneys if it fits.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
If you need it, let me
So
know.
the issue with that, my girlfriend's been offering me her kidney, but I don't want a girl kidney.
That's fair. Yeah. You might imagine if you develop some kind of insatiable lust for dick.
Yeah.
You know, or something. I understand
horrific.
that. I can
Everybody be in so much danger.
I don't think you can. Can you have like a? Can you have a? I don't know if you can have have like a boy, girl, like organ swap. I don't know if you can.
I hope you can, because I don't want one. I don't want a girl kidney. I'd rather die.
All right. So if you need a kidney, I got you.
Thank you, Nick.
I'm not the most masculine man, but you can still have it.
You'll do.
You'll do. All right. So they're talking about kidney swap and they're talking about other things.
Yeah.
You're but a boy. Mm-hmm. And so, what was that like for you? Like, what was going through your head at that time?
I just wanted to play football. Like,
yeah.
That's all I really cared about. Like,
the simplicity of youth.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like, it was just like, oh, it's gonna get heavy, man.
That's okay.
I think about 12 and 13, like I became okay with death. Because that was obviously on my mind a lot, and all I wanted to do was play football, and I didn't care if I died doing it. So now, like, going into this shit, I still kind of have that mentality where, you know, I came to terms with death at a very young age, and I came to terms with what I think it would be like, and I made my peace with it.
Yeah.
To the now where I don't really care if I live or die, where I just kind of live life to be happy.
Okay.
Because it's easy to live life how you want if you don't care about the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really, I mean, maybe not with the death component, but I feel like that's just a lesson everybody should have anyways, right?
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, being happy is all that really matters.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's I think finding your true happiness is the meaning of life. I really do. I think everybody has a different meaning of true happiness. So everybody has a different meaning of life.
I think that's fair.
Like, you know, all I want to do is work out. All I want to do is work out and travel. Like, that's what makes me happy. That's all I really care about.
That's pretty much all you do.
Yeah, that's all I do. Work out and travel.
What kind of fucking workouts do you have to do when you're traveling?
So I do so what I'll do is I'll work out super hard for about 2 months, take a vacation, and then I'll just let my body rest that vacation. So my joints, usually by that end of that 2 months, my joints are fried.
Right. So you're not doing like gym workout. You're not bringing like a rubber band with you.
No. I mean,
get a quick one in the hotel room.
No, absolutely not. I swim. I'm a big swimming guy.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. That's soft on the joints.
You're a big everything guy.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So when I go on vacation, I treat it like a vacation, unless it's a long one.
Yeah.
If I'm there for like 2 weeks, then yeah, I'll probably hit some workouts and stuff, but nothing like horrific. You know, nothing like stupid where I could die if I mess up.
I think the obvious question that most people are gonna want is like, what's your diet like? This is surprising even to me.
I kind of just get like everything through a natural diet where I don't really like, I was telling you earlier, I don't think I've had any protein powder since my kidney disease got diagnosed.
That's wild. I think that's hilarious because there's so many, like that's sort of like the bro mentality, you know? It's like lots of protein, lots of supplements, and you're saying that you basically just eat a regular standard American diet.
I mean, definitely, like I definitely eat healthy. Like my girlfriend really knows how to cook, you know what I mean? She loves to cook healthy. She's in the gym all the time too with me. So that's like a big part of our lives. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like, you know, I have a shit diet. Like I definitely eat on the healthy side.
You're not eating like me, but you're not eating you're not eating like Jay Cutler.
No, I'm not malicious about it. I'm not like, oh, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna have this and that. Like, no, if I'm hungry, I'll eat. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat. Like,
we're going to Dave's Hot Chicken after this.
We are, fuck yeah. But like, I think people overcomplicate a lot of things.
Yep.
You know, I think working out's a lot more simple than people think. You know, if you're consistent and you go for years, you're gonna be in shape. You know what I mean? If you're serious and you push yourself and you suffer in the gym, you're gonna be in shape.
Right.
Your body has no choice but to adapt to that. That's what a human body does when it comes to workouts, you know?
Right.
It adapts to progressive overloads, progressive pressure, so pretty simple stuff. Like, people really overcomplicate everything.
So what kind of, I mean, I definitely think that there are layers to that, right? Like genetically you have to be there.
Yeah. Well,
And then like there's also risk of injuries that take place when like people go too hard but it sounds like you just are really good at listening to what you do.
well, like here's like I know my body. I know what hurts me.
Yep.
I know what movements are good for me. You know, like I'm not, you know, genetically I am blessed, but if I wanted to do something else, I wouldn't be. Like if I wanted to be a fucking mountain climber, I'm fucked.
Right.
You know, like that, like that's kind of how that works. You know,
Lou
like
Ferrigno had a very similar methodology to his training. Is he would basically just go in and just be like, this is what I want to do today. And then he would just do it. And then he would, on days he wanted to rest, he would rest. On days when he felt like he could go harder, he would go harder. On days he felt like he needed to go light, he would go light. I mean,
well, yeah, exactly. If you're not lazy about it, you can 100% do it, you know?
right.
Like, a lot of people are pretty lazy in their workouts.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people don't really want to push themselves. They're not used to pushing themselves.
Right.
You know, like, I'm so comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, I've lived most of my life being uncomfortable.
Well, just being that big, I'm sure, isn't always the most comfortable. Like getting into an airplane seat probably.
Yeah, I mean, airplanes suck. Airplanes suck.
Sitting on a bus probably isn't great.
Well, it was funny. So when they flew me to Vegas, I had like a 6-hour flight.
Yep.
And they put me in the middle.
Jesus. Oh, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure they did.
I was in the middle of, oh God, it was horrible. These poor guys next to me, they were like super chill, but
Dude, imagine.
I was like, this is a meme, guys. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Imagine the super heavy squad having to fucking get on one plane at the same time. They probably got to break it up.
Oh, yeah.
They got to send you.
distribute the weight.
Yeah, they got to send you different days and shit.
Yeah. I mean, if you're flying out of Manchester, they put you on those tiny planes.
Well, that's like Brian Shaw. Have you ever seen him get in a plane?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, hilarious.
Miserable.
All those guys, they look very unhappy to be
miserable.
there. One seat, too. They all only splurge for one seat.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, even if you buy another seat, the plane might just be like, hey, we're giving this to this guy. Like,
Motherfuckers.
so it's not like always solid if you get two.
Really?
No.
Interesting. That sucks.
Yeah, and if, you know, I bought a seat and they're like, hey, we're giving the seat up, we'd probably be pretty mad.
Yeah, I would imagine. You would hopefully get your money back.
Hopefully. I mean, I'd be starting up some shit when we get off.
Yeah, once we get off.
Yeah, once
I'm gonna
we get
wait.
off.
I'm gonna wait until we're there.
I'll be very patient on the plane. I'll be stewing in rage, though.
Here, why don't we cut for a second and we're gonna set this up on this table here.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna have to get closer.
Whoa.
All right, so now we're sitting. We weren't sure if this bench would support us, but shout out to the city of Manchester for absolutely putting out a real fucking
Absolute unit.
banger of a bench. Absolute unit of a bench. So how much do you actually weigh? You're 6'4", is that correct?
No, I'm like 6'2" and a half.
6'2" and a
wish I
half.
was 6'4".
I've been lying to people.
It's
Okay,
okay.
so you're
It's
6'2" and a half.
So, at the camp, I weighed in at 375. I don't have any scales at my gym. So
What gym do you go to?
I lift at Summit Strength in Milford.
Okay.
My only complaint is I don't have any scales.
It's a powerlifting gym. They probably you don't need them.
Yeah, no, but like shit, man. But so I like right now I don't know how much I weigh, but I know 2 weeks ago at the camp I was 375.
Hell yeah.
So probably somewhere near.
And what's the super cutoff?
It's 265 and up.
Shit. So you could be fighting someone 100 pounds. You could be slapping someone 100 pounds less than you.
Yeah. Which that doesn't really happen. I've noticed most of the guys are 300 and up.
Yeah.
On the lighter end, because like there's some, the guy I've been calling out Slap for Cash, he's 450.
Yeah.
That's not going to work out.
Does you find that intimidating, him being 75 pounds heavier than you?
No, I couldn't care less. He can't move. I couldn't care less. Because I feel like once you get so big, there's no athletic capability. There's no explosion, and like you hit another guy that's a big man, and he's athletic, he's not going to react to it.
Got all that absorption power.
Exactly. I got this massive neck, big traps. Like I'm ready.
So let's talk about the rules for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So PowerSlap. Mm-hmm. Do you know any of the history of it? Like how did it get started or anything?
Dana White just came up with it. You know what I mean? So it's a company under the UFC. Dana White runs it. I know a bunch of the rules. I did a whole workshop on the rules. But no, I think the big thing with the rules is you have to keep your feet down. which that's something which I feel with heavier guys that's going to be more of an issue is keeping your feet down when you throw like that.
No hip flexibility.
Yeah, well, no, so you can move your hips. You know, like you got to keep that feet down, which coming from a boxing background, which I mean, you know, move your feet when you throw hooks and punches.
Oh, your feet have to stay flat?
Yeah.
So you can't twist your feet at all?
Yeah. There's like a whole discretion thing, but I don't like discretion, so I'd rather just not have my feet move.
Right, you don't want any question.
No, because like, so let's say it's a 3-round fight. You're allowed one, basically, so you're allowed one foul as the striker. Right. And the second one, you get DQ'd. Oh. So it's like, I'd rather save that foul strategically. Right. You know what I mean? On like the last slap, just let my feet go up and really just walk them.
Yeah. Don't, if you're competing against Zach, don't watch this right now. This is strategy talk. What are the rules? How is the game set up?
So basically, how you decide who strikes first, they flip a coin. Okay. So they flip a coin, and then, so you have like a little like noodle to hold on to that they try to keep your shoulders down, which you're not keeping my shoulders down. I mean, you're fucking. Oh yeah, it's a whole. I have a whole plan with that. But yeah, so flip a coin. The defender, so he has to have a noodle, puts it behind his back, and he can't flinch. Can't flinch at all. So if you flinch, the guy gets an extra hit. So you really don't want to be flinching in the slightest. So
what counts as a flinch?
You know, let's say you go to hit me, like I move into it, or I try to roll with it a little bit. It doesn't.
You have to stay rigid.
You have to stay rigid. You have to keep that chin up, which I mean, I'm gonna try to work my way around that. I'm gonna try to bend it a little bit. Right. You know.
Well, that must be hard too, because you're coming from kickboxing where you're taught.
Oh yeah.
You've been taught every day for the past 20 years to keep your chin tucked in.
But like, you know, I got such big traps and everything. Like, if you want my hands behind my back, my shoulders are gonna roll up. Right. Like it's not gonna be easy to hit my chin. Right. You know, so that's been really focused on a lot of shrugs, a lot of static hold shrugs, just holding that up there, trying to get these traps as big as humanly possible. Upright rows, a lot of stuff like that.
Someone's rocking it.
Jamming out.
And so you stand up, you guys flip a coin, you pick to see who hits first, and then what happens next?
So basically, you get hit, and then you have a minute to gather yourself. So, you know, you can sit there, they give you coaches, so go talk to your coach, chalk up a little bit, relax, or, you know, if you got hurt and dropped, you know, take that minute. Right. Take that minute to gather yourself and get steady again to make sure you can really, you know, leverage your weight and that kind of stuff. So once that minute goes up, they give you like a little square. You have to go to the square. And then once you're in the square, you have 30 seconds to hit. So, yeah.
All right. So what constitutes a round? You said a 3-round fight. So what constitutes a round?
So let's say if I smack you and you smack me back, that's 1 round. Okay.
So you're taking essentially, so there's like 6 slaps in a match.
Yeah. So in a non-title match, there's about 6 slaps, and if there's no flinching fouls, I do not want to flinch in the slightest.
It does seem like a sport that's specifically designed for super heavyweights. Like, I don't want anybody to slap me. So please don't take this as an affront to anybody. I don't want anybody to slap me. But like, it seems like the lighter weights just aren't as exciting as the big boys.
I disagree. If you watch the PowerSlap, so these lighter weights, they get so much more wind up, so much more explosion than the bigger guys. A lot of these bigger guys that can't move. There's no speed, no explosion. And, you know, a lot of them, they don't get knocked out as much. Where you see the lighter guys, you know, that's a lot easier to hit their chin. Right. You know, I don't have a neck. Right. I have no neck. So, like, you know, you're not, even if you hit me in the chin, there's not going to be much rattle in my brain. Like, that's kind of, you know, I personally, I like watching those smaller guys go at it.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. I will admit that my having watched it is very minimal. Yeah. Other than, like, highlight reels on Facebook. But I've never watched, like, a full match before. And you're the first PowerSlap athlete I've ever met. So that's pretty cool.
There's actually a ranked heavyweight from Boston, I think.
I wonder if we can get it in the Olympics.
Dude, that'd be sick. The Russians are really good at it. Yeah. The Russians are they have like a whole slap league.
They're good at everything.
Yeah.
Well, they're good at every sport. Well, not every sport, but every combat sport.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the super heavyweight champ's Russian.
Yeah.
So.
What's his name?
They call him Dumpling.
How much? That's a silly name. How much like actual like science is and like training science is behind this right now? Like, do we really have an idea of like what makes like a better slapper, or is it really just like the Wild West right now?
It's kind of like the Wild West right now. I mean, me and Coach Murphy, we're kind of coming at this very analytically. So we're kind of looking at sports where there's a lot of rotation, and I want to train basically for those sports and get that rotation as explosive as possible. So do like a lot of field stuff. You know, and obviously having a combat background and knowing how to leverage shots helps a lot, like a big time. I think that's more important than lifting.
Right.
You know, a lot of these guys that they lift are so stiff. Like it doesn't, you know, you have more of a push than a pop.
Right. Is there a lot of lifting going on in the super heavy division?
I mean, for me, yeah.
But
like,
I mean for others that you've seen.
As far as I've seen, yeah. Definitely, like, there's a guy coming up, McKinney Manu, and I talked to him a little bit. That guy's a serious, like, strength guy. Like, I think he benches a tiny bit more than me.
Oh, that makes me mad. That must make you mad.
That makes me really mad. We're talking like I think I heard him say he benches 550, and I can get about 540.
Well, you heard it or you saw it?
I saw a video of it.
Okay.
So he's.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, dude, I'm definitely a little mad about that.
He's big dogging you.
Yeah. Listen, he's shorter than me, heavier than me.
No,
you know what I mean? So, you know, he has those nice short arms, you know, but whatever.
You can probably do more pull-ups than he can.
Probably can.
To get a little bit serious here for a minute, like obviously CTE, we're only sort of just on the cusp of understanding and really like treating CTE. It's not like it used to be where boxers would or fighters would, you know, sort of go into a home at 40, not know where they are for the rest of their life, and then, you know, die of dehydration because they forgot to drink anything for days. Is that something that concerns you in the sport? I mean, the sport does seem like it's sort of a CTE fucking...
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think a lot of sports are CTE machines.
Right.
You know what I mean? The way I look at this, like, how many deaths have there been in boxing just this year?
Right.
You know, like, think about it like this. You know, instead of being a boxing match where I can take 600 shots to the head, at the most I'm getting 5 on this. Right. You know, like, am I concerned with it? I mean, to a certain degree, 100%. But kind of like how we talked about earlier, where, you know, I'm not really scared of that kind of stuff. Like, you know, we're all going to be hurting when we're old. You know, nobody's going to be good.
I'm hurting now.
Yeah.
I'm 37, and I wake up and I feel like I got hit by a truck most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably all the Dave's Hot Chicken.
Oh, listen. Dave's Hot Chicken's doing me good.
Dave's Hot Chicken, if you're looking to sponsor a PowerSlap athlete,
oh, God, please.
I got the man for you. Please do it. We'll reach out. We'll be reaching out. Is it a different... So, like, obviously there's a lot more to being a professional athlete than just the sport, right? Mm-hmm. So you have, like, all of your PR. You have all of your, like, side training that, you know, and you have all of your sort of, like, doing shit like this. Mm-hmm. You were never really a big social media guy before, and you've never really been, like, a super public person. I don't think you're shy or anything, but you've never been, like, a super public person. Yeah. Is that changing, especially where you're kind of being seen as like an up-and-coming star? Which I don't think I'm speaking out of pocket by saying that. I think there's been a lot of talk in the PowerSlap world of you being sort of like this up-and-comer. Yeah, I mean, it's a change. Like, I definitely feel goofy. Yeah. I feel goofy posting a lot of stuff, like, oh, you know, like, look at me kind of stuff. Like, you know, like, it's not something I'm really keen to, but, you know, at this point, it's kind of my job. And, you know, it's a lot of extra attention. I'm actually, like, you know, I walk, like, when I go to Manchester, you know, people are like, oh, Zach, are you doing PowerSlap? And I'm like, oh, yeah. It's not like you can hide either.
No, like, people, you know what I mean? Like, I have a tattoo on my head, like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what everybody sees. Yeah. That's why everybody recognizes you as that tattoo. They're like, oh, those aviator glasses, I'd recognize them anywhere. That's Zach.
Well, yeah, no, it's something that, I'm trying to, like, not feel weird about everything, and, you know, just not like, oh, you know, my day in my life, you know, because in the way I think, I'm like, who the hell cares? Right. But then also think about, like, you know, people kind of want to see what a 375-pound athlete does, you know, like what I eat. Like, actually, I took a picture of my groceries last week, and I'm like, I wonder if people want to see this.
They do.
You know what?
They
Just like the protein, everything I eat.
Well, I think people would be very interested, especially, I think one angle that you should focus on is I think it's very interesting that you don't follow a traditional diet. You're obviously massive. You obviously have a lot of the end goal gains that people want to see.
Yeah.
And so, like, I find it very, very interesting, especially coming from a sports science background myself. Yeah, believe it or not, this fat fuck who you've been making fun of used to be a trainer and used to train athletes to fucking compete. You know, to me, it's very interesting that you don't sort of follow the traditional idea of like how to, like the proper diet and stuff. And so I think people would find that very interesting. And I think other sports like nutrition and trainers would be very interested to see, you know, because even if you're just a one-off, even if what you do doesn't work for anybody else, it's still, you know, very much an outside of the traditional ideas kind of thing. And I think that's worth talking about for sure.
Well, I think like, I mean, I'd be open to doing a crazy diet, but like a lot of the issues is like, I don't want to do the dishes.
Right.
Like, I don't want to sit here and meal prep, or, you know, have a whole day meal prepping, and then once I'm done, you know, I got a mound of dishes to do. Like, I'm kind of good. Like, I'm going to eat what I want. You know, do like a reasonable degree. I'm not going to sit here and house 2 large pizzas.
Right.
You know, like I definitely watch what I eat. I definitely try to eat clean, good proteins. I like fish, steak, you know, but I feel like that's just normal guy stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, like not, you know, I eat high quality grains, like, you know.
Whatever you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like, so what I think about is I think like if it comes from the earth, it's going to be good for you.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like the ground is dirty. You know what I mean? It comes out of the ground, it's got to be dirty. I want something grown in a lab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want some sponge cake grown in a lab with some frosting that they fucking
Some of that Beyond Meat.
built on out of protein molecules.
They're laying bricks with the frosting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. I want it to be like they're growing it on a wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In like a vacuum sealed chamber.
You're gonna become radioactive, man.
I wish, dude. It'd fucking be Hulk shit. Do you? Yeah, so I do think that would be interesting to see. I definitely think that you should lean into that. And I think you should just lean into like the overall. I mean, nobody gets to live your life. And so I definitely think that that's an interesting thing that people want to see. Because, you know, I'll be honest with you. You've been talking about PowerSlap for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Whenever you bring up PowerSlap to somebody, their first reaction is like, what the fuck is this person even talking about? As soon as anybody sees PowerSlap, though, you cannot look away. You fucking cannot look away. You can think it's so stupid when you're talking about it, dude, and that video fucking comes on your feed and you're fucking transfixed.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's incredible to see.
It's definitely made for that, like, quick 9-second clip kind of thing, you know? And, like, God, when I tell people I'm going to do that, they look at me like I'm nuts. Like, my grandma thinks I'm absolutely insane for this. You know?
Dude, you're going to get your girlfriend into it. Will your grandma get into it, too? You could be like the first PowerSlap family.
Absolutely not. I love you, Grammy Lynn. No PowerSlap for you.
I think you could be a PowerSlap champ, Grammy Lynn. Hit me up. My grandparents are all dead, so you could definitely beat them.
Yeah.
That's dark. All right. Bringing it back around. When are you hoping to have your first match? And who are you hoping to have it against?
So I'm hoping to get slapped for cash right now. He has 1 million Instagram followers. He's 450. You know, I got no ill will towards this guy. I think at the end of the day, I just want what he has, and he's stopping me from getting it. You know, I want my name in lights. I want to be known. I want, you know, my family proud of me. I want my girlfriend proud of me. And, you know, if I have to put him to sleep, that's what I'm more than willing to do. If I have to hit him with everything I got, with every fiber of muscle in my body, I will crash into his face.
Have you heard anything from him? Have you talked to him?
No, but he's watching my stories. So
Is he?
Yes. So, I mean, hey.
We know you're watching. Slap for cash. We know you're watching, baby.
You know.
We want you.
Yeah.
We're coming to take your lunch. No, that's me talking. That's not Zach talking.
I'm coming
In
to
all
take your
honesty, Slaps for cash, Zach does want to come and he wants to fight you. He wants to come. He wants to compete against you. But off camera, he has always maintained to me that you know, he has no ill will. He thinks that you seem like a great guy. but he wants what you have, and he's fucking coming for it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
a little bit of peek behind the scenes there.
Yeah, you know.
But I do think, you know, I want to see it. I think it'd be a great. I think it'd be a great match.
I mean, I think the world wants to see it. You know, I think that might be the heaviest power slap match ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be up there in weight for them.
And he's ranked number 10, right?
Yeah, he's ranked number 10.
Who's number 11? Is there a number, like, how many super heavyweights are there really?
I have no idea. I actually tried finding like a whole roster of them, and you know, I'm a caveman, so I'm pretty shit at internet, but I don't think there's too many. I want to say probably 20, 25.
I killed these flies when they were fucking, look.
Good.
They were fucking right there. Sick little perverts.
That's a way to die.
They were fucking on camera, little perverts.
Dude, I think they're still on top of each other.
They are. They're still insertion. Poor little guys. I mean, what a way to go, though. If you gotta go, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to go.
Just fucking some hot little fly mama.
You're scaring me, Nick. Took me out to a lake for an interview talking about killing me.
Yeah. You're my main target. I see you and I'm like, he's weak. He's the calf. I can take it to the fold. Yeah, you're probably the last person that I would ever mug.
I appreciate that.
I like that. I'm probably the first person most people would mug.
I'd say you're like middle.
The thing is it's like I want to die, so that's what that surprises them is when I'm like, you'll have to kill me.
Please do it.
Just do it. I won't even stop you, but you're gonna have to kill me because my will to live does not exist, and the idea of you giving me a way out here is really tempting.
At least make me sound heroic.
I have no money in my wallet, but if you could just do it, I'll sign a waiver.
I'll sign a waiver.
Coming back to PowerSlap, so what does it feel like to be a professional athlete in a sport that like didn't even exist when because you've always wanted to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
This sport is still very new, never existed when you were coming up. Like, what is it like competing and being in a sport that didn't exist as a professional athlete? Like, and what are the differences between like this kind of professional athleticism versus like your minimal experience in like the D1 system?
I mean, I'd say because like this is backed by the UFC. Like this is so like professional. Like the whole training, like the whole training place they took us to was absolutely gorgeous, high tech, anything you could want they had. So I think it being backed by the UFC is a big deal and a good thing for athletes. You know, we have a giant organization backing us, giving us ways to train, teaching us how to train. You know, they were giving us like nutrition advice, and they took us to a thing on like how to cut weight properly. You know, I didn't pay attention. I'm not
yeah, you probably could have skipped that one.
No, I'm just like sitting there, wow, you guys got me here to cut weight right now. Like, I'm not cutting. I think I'm maybe trying to get 265 at some point, but
265?
Yeah, go down to 265.
Why? Just because?
Why not?
All right, fair enough. Why don't you gain 10 pounds of muscle and then cut back 10 pounds of fat?
I mean, I could do that. I got bored one year and just had to drop 60 pounds.
Yeah, me too. Actually, what's weird is I do lose weight like that where because I have ADHD, so I'll just forget to eat for like 2 weeks. And then I'll just fucking be like, oh shit, I should probably eat more than fucking like this morning bagel, like this morning half bagel that I've been sustaining myself on.
It's that simple. You go on a caloric deficit and work out. It's not.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest anybody do it like I do it.
Yeah, no, don't do it like that. Eat proper, guys.
It's funny because I'm so fat, but I have like alarms in my phone to remind me to eat because I forget all the time.
Oh. I mean, shit.
It kind of sucks though, because it'll be like midnight, because I stay up real late.
Yeah.
So it'll be like midnight, 1 o'clock. I'll be like, fuck, I didn't eat anything. Then I go eat, and then it like elongates how long I'm staying up.
Well, I mean, that probably makes your metabolism slower.
Like, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, no, you gotta have 3 meals a day.
Very inconsistent.
You have 3 meals a day.
Very inconsistent. So, anywho, that's way off.
You know more about this than me.
Way off topic. Way off topic. Well, I don't do enough to really. I spend like 18 hours a day sitting in front of a computer screen in the dark fucking editing videos like some kind of troll. So it's like, it's not like I'm getting out there, you know? So Slaps for Cash is your, who do you want after that? Are you just gonna work your way up the ladder?
Yeah, I mean, I'll work my way up the ladder. Slap for Cash is kind of the guy I'm dead set on right now. So that's who, he's the only guy that's been in my head. You know, I want to get him. I mean, I think my goal is I could have a belt around my waist in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I have my belt around my waist by the time I'm 29. You know, do a couple matches at that, and then probably call it. You know, I don't want to be doing this too long.
Right.
You know, like you said, this is a CTE machine. You know, I don't want to be sitting there with 30 PowerSlap matches. You know, but
get in, get out.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have an end goal for this. I want to end up doing private security. I want to, you know, this is, I feel, also a good way to network.
Yeah.
You know, meet some famous people, talk to them, and, you know, they can see what I have, you know, what I can do, you know, and, yeah, it's kind of the whole end goal with this.
Have you ever considered professional wrestling? I feel like you're built for professional wrestling.
I think about it all the time.
You could be a professional wrestler.
I'm a huge wrestling fan.
I've always thought that.
I mean, when I started working out as a kid, I was a fat ginger kid with like a severe stutter.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I got like, I was watching guys like Brock Lesnar.
Now you're just a taller fat ginger kid with a
stutter. Yeah. Now I'm just taller. So, you know, I saw guys like Brock Lesnar, you know, Kane, Undertaker, you know, they look like me in a certain aspect where, you know, I want to look like these guys. So I was obsessed with wrestling as a little kid, obsessed with it. To this day, I still keep up with it. Right. You know, like that John Cena heel turn's pretty sick. Like, you know, like, I
did not see that coming.
No, nobody
Even
did.
I haven't watched wrestling in probably 20 years, and I heard about that and was like, what?
Yeah.
That's a crazy. Did not see that coming.
Yeah, I'd be more than open to learning how to wrestle. I think like the other thing, like, you know, if I have to be away for a while, 'cause it's hard to keep a job when you're you know, away for a month, so it's not going to work. Right. You know, I'm thankful for my job, so I'm not trying to, you know, go try to do something, fail, and then not have a job when I come back.
You do have a sick job.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely blessed with that job.
Let's talk about that for a second. So, if looking at Zach, you're like, what could he possibly do for a living? And it's exactly what you think. It's exactly what in your mind you're like, that is exactly what he should do. Why don't you tell everybody what you do?
So, I'm a floor host at the Millennium Cabaret, which is basically I'm a bouncer, but it's more than bouncing. It's a lot of sales also.
Which is so funny.
Well, yeah, like, you know, it's a lot of sales.
You bring them in, you upsell them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, I'm shaking hands, kissing, you know, kissing babies, you know.
Oh, there's no babies in there. No. We got a daycare, it's fine.
Yeah, but, yeah, no, so I've been doing that for a while, you know, like, management's great. They're super excited about this, actually. Oh,
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, they love this. They think this is sick, but I've been there for a long time. You know, money's good. Money's real good there. I'm happy about it. You know, I work all the good shifts.
If Millennium Cabaret would like to sponsor this podcast, I would love to have them, by the way. So just putting that out there. Dave's hot chicken for him, Millennium Cabaret for me. I'm here for it, baby. That would be a hell of a combination.
Hey, I mean, you should come by on a Saturday.
No. No. I'm a married man. Huh? I'm a married man, and I am also very uncomfortable in strip clubs. But as what other people love, that's none of my business. I've been to one strip club in my entire life. And the deep Catholic shame that has been ingrained in me really did its job. And I spent the next 3 days on my knees whipping my own back.
Somebody spray holy water on you. Help me, Father, for I have sinned.
Exactly. So because of that, I'm a prude. But if I would still love to have them sponsor this if they would like to. So I actually have, so anyways, this is a super off topic, but I always have wanted to do a YouTube video where I go to like a strip club or I go to like a sex toy shop and then I blur out everything except for me. I don't know, I just have always thought it would be so funny to do, just like the visual gag, and it could go on for like 15 minutes of me just going through whatever I go to and just blurring out everything but me. I think it would be so funny.
I'll say this, do not do that at a strip club. Like, please, they'll take your camera. Right.
No, I would set it up with them. Okay, no, it would be a thing I did with them. I would never just go record anybody. Anytime I record anybody, it's always consensual. I always check first. I never just record strangers.
I've definitely gone through a lot of people's phones in my life.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Christ, jeez, I feel like talking to you, most strip clubs are pretty laid back, or at least your guys is. It's like,
well, I mean, like, I don't think you can take yourself too serious at that point.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, like, I think of myself as a professional. You know, I'm sure people have worked with me or have, you know, been there while I'm there. You know, I do take it serious.
Right.
You know, like, this is a money-making business. And,
right. And it's also people's safety on the line.
oh, yeah, people's safety big time on the line. And, you know, like, I'm here to make people comfortable. You know, it's an uncomfortable thing going to a strip club for the first time.
Right.
You know, so I think people want to see a friendly face the first face they walk in. You know, I'm not here to be mean to people. I want people to come back.
Right.
You know, I'm here to sell. I'm here to make guys comfortable and, you know, make sure they're happy and, you know, that they come back and spend more money.
Right. And I think it also must be, I just mean, what I meant by that is like I feel like the idea of like the people who you go to a strip club is like this idea of like basically a gross person. But from everything I've talked to of other people is like, it's not. It's usually just like, it's like going to a movie or like it's going to like, it's like having fun. You know what I mean?
The thing I love about strip clubs is every kind of person goes to a strip club, right? You get, you know, we have guys that go in there that are multi-millionaire business owners. We have politicians, you know, but like, then we have guys that, you know, flip burgers.
Right.
You know, and like there's nothing, that's my favorite part. You see every kind of person goes to a strip club. Like I love that part of the, you know, I get to meet a lot of cool people, you know, like so many of my regulars are trying to, you know, help me with this right now. You know, like they all love it.
That's awesome. No, I mean, it does seem like, and like there is sort of probably like some kind of like bonding that takes place between you and your regulars. Because like you see each other all the time. It's like where they go to hang out and it's laid back. And so I'm sure there's like a whole like, it must just be like your friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I love my job. I have a good time. Like, you know, my Fridays, Saturdays, I love going to work. Like, you know, great time. You know, I really just sit there and shoot the shit and make people happy.
Does your girl ever get jealous? The question needs to be asked.
No, she's... No.
I would imagine probably not, because you've been working there longer than you've been dating her, so you had to know what she was getting into.
Yeah, no, she knew what she was getting into, and she understands. I think more of, I feel bad that I'm away from her every weekend.
Yeah.
I definitely feel bad about that, and but, you know,
it must just be but I mean, at the same time, it must just become a job, and you're like, well, another day at the titty bar.
Yeah.
Another day punching in at work at the titty factory, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it just kind of becomes a job, and it's just like, how's it going, Cheryl? And she's naked, and you're like, hey, what's up, Brad? And he's fucking on a pole. It's just wild times all over the place.
Oh, no, I was thinking about, like, God, how many tits I've seen in my life.
I hope it's just another day at the office.
No, to me, they all just look like a bunch of, like, construction workers running around with their shirts off.
What's crazy to me is how many people you've probably met for the first time with no shirt on.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, that must be. Yeah. And you're just like, how's it going? And then
I give them like this handshake. And
pleasure to meet you, Tanya. I'm very excited to be working with you today.
Pleasure to meet you, Cinnamon.
If you need anything, let me know. Yeah, pleasure to meet you, Cinnamon. Haven't heard that one before.
Oh, God.
Yeah, dude, I think... Let me take this back one more time to a more serious topic. Mm-hmm. I just want to say that I've known you for a long time. I know that it's been your dream to be a professional athlete for your whole life, and you may not have seen it being like, you know, in PowerSlap. You may have seen it being something else, but to me, as your friend and as someone who's known you for a long time, I'm not only am I so happy for you, but I'm very proud of you.
I appreciate that, man. Because
this is a great example of someone who had a goal and a dream, and they chased it down and they got it.
Yeah.
And regardless of how you feel about PowerSlap, regardless of how you feel about Zach, like, that's an incredible thing to see. And I am very, very proud of the person you are and how you've managed to take what was less than an ideal start and turn it into like really being happy and really, really getting something that 99% of people will never achieve and never understand. So, good job, dude.
I appreciate that, man.
The pride of Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh, man. Me and Adam Sandler.
The mountain that flaps.
Me and Adam Sandler.
And Sarah Silverman.
She's from Bedford.
Is she? Okay. Well, fuck her then.
Exactly.
All right. Well, guys. Zach, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Guys, I love you. Mwah. If there's anything I can do to put you in contact with Zach is looking for sponsors right now. Mm-hmm. So if you want your name to be attached to potentially the greatest PowerSlap athlete to ever live, now's the time to get in on the action. Now's the time to get in on the ground floor.
That guy has a pet duck.
That guy does have a pet duck. I'm not going to record him, but
That's a hell of a way to end.
There's a guy with a pet duck over there. That's crazy. I'm gonna ask him if I can record his duck after this. All right. Where can people find you? Where do you want people to go?
Go on my Instagram. It's Lansing Zak. So Lansing as in the capital of Michigan, and Zak, Z-A-K.
I didn't even know Lansing was the capital of Michigan.
Everybody thinks it's Detroit. It's Lansing, Michigan.
Interesting. All right, guys, I love you. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching today, and we will talk to you later. Bye. Having a pet duck.
Food. But yeah, I eat the eggs.
Okay. What's his name?
Doesn't really have a name.
No.
I never got to that.